Hello everybody, welcome back. Last time we were about to discover this lab. And yeah, we're about to be finished with the zone after we read a little bit. Alright. My sensitivity is a bit high. Okay. Okay, so... Oops. Had a little bit of a stutter there. Whoa. I guess that's DNA. Okay. Wait. Who is this? Okay, it's Byron.
This is where they must have lived. Athena and Miranda. You know, for a moment, I almost expected to find them here.
It's really emotional.
But the only thing that's still functional is the megastructure. I'm sorry. This must be awfully strange for you being thrown into all this history. But that's why I needed you. Because you're not burdened with all these memories and conflicts and regrets weigh on our minds like a nightmare.
Nightmare?
Our civilization is caught in a loop, 1K. We freed ourselves from the simulation, but now we're trapped again, and it's our own fault. We're afraid of taking responsibility, afraid of growing up. Instead, we make up some capitalized words and build up all these myths around them. Nature, balance, the founder, the goal. We're afraid to face the randomness of the cosmos, but equally afraid to imagine a better world. So we're stuck. I've been trying to find a way out for years. Something, anything, to get people to understand that we do actually have free will. That building a thriving, expanding civilization doesn't have to involve repeating the mistakes of the past.
Yeah, I agree.
But I failed. Over and over.
And you think what we've discovered here could change things? I'm gonna ask him why he failed, actually.
Because for some reason, people find it easier to cling to cynicism and self-hate than to actually have hope.
Yeah.
Because believing the worst about ourselves, calling ourselves sinners and fools, somehow still seems wise.
Yeah, I guess it prevents progress in a way. If you're too afraid, you can't move forward.
Yes. Because this is something unexpected, an anomaly. Everything we found on this island challenges who we have become. It shows us that different answers are possible. And maybe that can break people out of the loop.
Maybe.
All we need is a spark. Maybe that's why she made all this. The puzzles, the towers. A way of jolting us out of our complacency.
Could be. I hope so.
Thank you, 1K. I hope so too.
I like
We might
Byron.
be wrong, but let's be optimistic. Now, let's see what else we can find here.
Okay, let's discover. I thought for a second Byron was someone else there. Like, as Byron said, like maybe it was Athena or something. Oh. They had this fucking little zoo thingy. Let's go this way. What is this?
Melville, eyes on 1K's stream. Is this thing what I think it is?
What is it?
Blow my fuse box. It sure looks that way. Best not touch it until I get there.
Of course, sound advice, but what is it?
I think it's a somnodrome.
What's a somnodrome?
It's a sort of analytics tool for processing mental data that Melampus streamed up.
But all he ever did was sketch out the theory. As far as I'm aware, he never actually built one.
Looks like the founder gave it a go.
Can you explain it like I was born yesterday?
Well, what we know is that our deeper algorithms are hard to pass. Melampa stipulated that the computational power to interpret them in real time would always be beyond us. But in theory, the Somnodrome would interpret that data and loop it directly to our senses.
People were hoping to find answers to the big questions by having a conversation with our own subconscious.
Interesting.
If you ask me, it's solipsistic at best, and pseudoscience regardless.
I don't know what that means,
That may be.
solipsistic.
But if the founder figured it out, then that device could be an extremely important discovery.
We should try it.
I would advise against it. You may have survived all those data stream overloads, but interface with that thing and you're liable to get bricked. Not to mention risking the data we could get from it.
Oh, we get an actual choice here. Do we get the data or... I mean, if this was real life, I would get the data. Don't need to risk yourself. But I want to plug in the game.
Sorry, Melville, but if 1K wants to do this, I won't get in the way. It's his decision.
Understood. But if 1K starts to smoke, don't be slow to pull the plug.
Okay. I'm gonna do that, but wait. Can I not get out of here? What is this? Somnodrome prototype. Prototype notes, Melampus believed that the answers we're looking for, the correct way for the individual to exist ethically in society and the world, are within us. Our failure to him was not failing to create a better system, but failing to truthfully reflect what already exists within our minds. A failure of connection between the high and the low, the inner and the outer. On most days, that seems wrong to me. But sometimes when I think of where the New Jerusalem is headed, I wonder if the Somnodrome doesn't hold an answer after all. I took some time to build a prototype according to the original blueprints, but there's a lot Melampus didn't account for. Still, I'm almost certain if I could apply some of my own knowledge and make it work. The question is, should I? By Athena. I wonder if she ever tried it, but it looks like we don't have a choice but to go in. So. Oh, let me center myself. Let's go in. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that. So we're gonna continue to go into the Somnodrome, and it locked us in here. Let's go. I can't move. Okay.
1K, can you hear me?
Yes.
What did I say? You fried it. Who knows what data we've lost?
Oh shit. I read everything and you read nothing. Was this a bad move? I want to get all the lore, guys. Maybe I made the bad decision. Okay. Let's just say I regret some things. Sure, let's say I regret it.
Melville, I still think it's worth you coming here to take a look. 1K, let's pack up and explore the rest of this lab.
I fucked up.
It was probably a big part of this. Where was it? Was it...
Okay, so prototype. Melampus, one of the Loopier first companions, dreamed of the Somnodrome back in the day. It's supposed to help us visualize the black box that is our own internal algorithms. You know, we have this problem as well with humanity. Our brain is such a complicated black box that, I mean, I don't know if we can invent something like the Somnodrome, but it would help to understand the brain better, of course. It was supposed to help us visualize the black box that is our own internal algorithms, and so provide some kind of moral or spiritual insight. It never properly worked, of course. Apparently, the founder took an interest and experimented further with the technology, correcting some of the mistakes Melampus made. Still a lot of tosh, if you ask me. But maybe she made it work. I wonder if this is Melville. Oh, it says Melville, so does that mean that's her comment? Oh, this is Yakut's comment. Okay, I get it. So whoever logs them in, it's kind of from their POV. Welcome to New Jerusalem. Okay, Melampus. Oh, Melampus messaged something. To all of you on this expedition, I'm sure you have questions about the Sound Room, but I'm afraid I can't answer them. It was a dream I had a long time ago when I was a different person. It's nice that they can change, and it has long since faded. I did build a prototype of sorts, at least one part of its systems, but none of it ever functioned the way I wanted it to. Whatever Athena may have done with my invention, the truth is that I'm simply not interested in the affairs of New Jerusalem anymore. I care as little for Byron's utopianism as I do for Herman's religious pessimism. I'm not sure I care about anything at all, really. In fact, I think not caring may be the only answer. He's a nihilist at the end of the day. Everything is transient, even the self. I've learned to let go. Please do not respond. I value my privacy. Interesting, Melampus. You're a bit of a bummer. Okay. Byron. I'm gonna try and keep the camera steady. Last time I noticed that it was a bit too shaky. I like to move my camera a lot. Oh, I can't go here? Maybe this takes me directly to the Melodrome. I thought there was something more. No? That scared me for a second. Can I not go here? Okay, here's the new room. Okay, nice. Oh shit, we're gonna get teleportation in the next puzzles? Hold on, does the glass seem bad to you guys, graphically? Let me know. Let's just read this. Noema design. Let's download this one first. Error. 200%, that's not good. What's happened? Okay.
The singularity sustained itself longer this time.
Did we get the data?
We did. I think we just obsoleted quantum physics.
Maybe. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to be able to replicate these results.
You know, I've been wondering. You told me that in the simulation, one thing that kept you motivated was looking for answers. Do you think that with the work we're doing, we'll ever run out of questions to ask?
I don't think so. Trying to understand the universe means asking the same question over and over. How? How do you make fire? How do earthquakes happen? How does gravity work? How do particles behave? You keep digging deeper, finding another set of mechanisms, another set of hows. Step by step, you demystify reality. But then, if you keep doing it long enough, one day, you run out. You've answered all the hows. You know how the universe works.
Oh. When I clicked it, paused. Okay.
So, now what?
Now you ask why? Isn't that the next step?
It's not quite that easy. The question of why cannot be answered. Even if it could, it would only be followed by another why. At some point, you have to accept that it all just exists. But there is another set of questions. What's next? You've stripped away the layers of mystery, you've laid bare the machinery. Now you have to start building, to add your own layers of meaning.
So, right now as humanity, we haven't even... Welcome back.
Are you okay? You overloaded again.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yes, I saw. It came through on your stream. Strange to hear her voice again. But that was her. The way I remember her. The real Athena, not this imaginary founder.
Tell me more about her.
I was one of the first she woke up. There was just a handful of us in those days. A small family in the ruins of a dead civilization. It was hard. Harder than anyone can possibly imagine. We had nothing except what Alexandra Drennan and the Institute left us. Now that everyone lives in civilization, they don't understand how necessary it was for us to build that civilization.
Yeah.
They can fantasize about living in balance, limiting growth, retreating behind our walls. They don't understand what it really means to live in the wilderness.
Yeah.
How close we came to not making it. How many people we lost. Yema was just the first. But Athena understood. She believed in humanity. She believed in us. In the inherent value of consciousness. Her dreams were so much bigger. She wanted us to reclaim the Earth, to reach for the stars, to build and grow and learn.
This story gives me hope for some reason. Like, I know I am very pessimistic about humanity, but I feel like these people, the new people of New Jerusalem, they have a better chance because they're not driven by their primalistic urges. I think they would be less likely to be selfish, and I think they would work better together as a community. I mean, as humans, I think we have like such a heightened sense of self that it's easy for societies to fall apart, and in the future, when things get rough, we do fall apart. All sorts of civilizations fall. Countries end eventually. I mean, all empires have an end, right? Anyway, so why did she leave? So why isn't she remembered that way? Maybe I can ask this one. I don't know why she left. I don't think he's gonna have an answer either. Maybe you might have an answer to this one.
The city was already changing before she left, turning inwards, forgetting the future. Once she was gone, other people shaped her memory, turned her into the symbol they needed. I understand all that, as depressing as it may be. What I don't understand is why she didn't tell me. If she came here to do all this, why didn't she bring me along?
You were her friend and you got left behind, huh? I'm sorry, it must have been hard to lose your mentor.
It was. But maybe I was wrong. And she isn't as lost as I thought she was. If this is all a test, maybe the answer is waiting for us in the megastructure.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, let's get back to exploring.
That's
Melville should have reconnected the next station by now.
I was actually gonna talk about what Athena said in the projection, I could say. The thing with yeah, this glass looks weird in the video. We can go in. I'm assuming we're gonna be able to teleport if we have line of sight. That's gonna be the thing, probably. The thing Athena was saying, she was saying that after we found out about all the rules of the universe, what's next, right? Now, as humanity, I doubt that we are ever going to get to that point. We will always be in a perpetual state of asking the question, how? We're gonna try and figure it out, and I don't think we're gonna... Guys, I have to take a little break. My door's knocking. I'll be back. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. This game is so loud, by the way, sometimes. Like, the ambient noises. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Yeah, effects. The dialogue can be like 70. Yeah, the ambience, it should be like 20. Less than 25, and effects at 50 maybe. Oh, save and close. And this is better. I can hear myself talk now. So as I was saying, I don't know if humanity is ever gonna... Sorry about that. I had to check I was recording. I don't think humanity is ever gonna get past that point of past the house. I don't think we're ever gonna figure out how the universe completely works. I mean, some problems are unsolvable, I would argue, you know, such as the problem they talked about how our brains work. We'll never be able to figure out how we are in terms of our brains, you know. Some diseases will never be cured. I mean, personality issues, like, let's say, for example, bipolar disorder. I mean, I don't think humanity is ever gonna get to that point. I'm sure we will advance. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would be happy to be wrong, by the way. But I think that some problems are too complex to solve. I mean, I'm sure things are gonna get so much better. Treatments are gonna get better in terms of medicine, and so on. But I don't think we're ever gonna be able to completely solve all the problems, and we're just gonna keep searching for the answers. And let's say these new humans of New Jerusalem, I don't want to insult them by calling them robots. Let's say they do figure out all the laws of physics that they need to know, how the universe works, how everything functions. Then there has to be a next thing, right? They have to step through the threshold into something new, and they have to find something to do, I think. I mean, existence without purpose is very hard. It's hard to live like that. I think I have all the question marks, so I'm gonna go to the gate. Let me check the map again. Yeah, only the golden gate is missing, and I don't think I can do those yet. So I'll head to the gate. As I was saying, the next step... let me remember what Athena said. She was talking about... we have to ask the question how, and after all the hows are answered, what's gonna be next, you know? What's gonna be next for us? And his daughter... Her daughter, I'm sorry. Melissa? Was it Melissa? Why don't I remember? Let me see the log. Miranda. Okay, I knew it started with an M, but Miranda. Now you. Oh, here it is. I can see it. Okay. I think we just obsoleted quantum physics. Will we ever run out of question task? I don't think so. How does gravity work? Yeah, we're gonna ask these questions. Athena also doesn't think they can solve all the understand. Athena also thinks they're not gonna run out of question task. You demystify reality, but then if you keep doing it long enough, one day you'll run out. Maybe, or maybe not. I mean, they have infinite time, so maybe their perspective is one wider than ours, you know? We only live around, at max, 100 years. And the thought of running out of questions to ask hasn't occurred to me that much, but beings that live thousands of years like these new people, like our friends here, let's say, they might have to ask what happens next. Isn't that the next step? Now we ask why. Yeah, maybe ask why it happened, try to understand why everything happened. And honestly, as Athena said, it's not quite that easy. I agree with Athena here. I mean, the one thing that happens is that things exist. You have to accept that. But Athena proposes something else here. There's another set of questions. What's next? Yeah, what's after? What will you do now that you know everything about the universe? Now that you laid bare the machinery? You have to start building. You have to add your own layers of meaning. That's so true. Honestly, even as humans... Oh, I'm gonna stay away from you. I want to talk to you. But even as humans, we have done that. Like... Oh, they don't want to talk to me. We've advanced so much that our lives are easy. We don't live for... Even though our scientists can ask the questions of how continuously, because there's more to know, We have people who try to ask what's next. You know, now that we have a sustaining society, I mean, we're not very sustaining, but for the sake of the argument, let's say we're kind of stable. Let's say we have the stable society. What's next for humans? What do humans need? What do humans want from our lives? You know, we live a limited time. Sure, we're trying to expand on that time. We're trying to lengthen our time on this planet, but we will all die eventually. And what is the best way to spend time? I think that's an important question philosophers ask themselves. And yeah, we have to think about that. My perspective is that we need to live meaningful lives. Meaningful and joyful lives. And, you know, take every day as it comes. I mean, as a society, we still have poverty. We still have hunger. We have these problems to solve. And honestly, as a person, it's good. I think it's been one of my goals as a child to, like, work on those problems. That's why I wanted to work in AI when I was little. I thought AI could be the solution to all of our problems. Anyway, yeah, we gotta fix society as humans. We gotta fix our societies a little bit. Anyway, well, let's talk.
Yes?
In my vision, Athena mentioned a singularity.
Yes. She could be talking about a gravitational singularity. Like the point within a black hole where density becomes infinite and space-time breaks down.
A black hole.
But the term has other applications too.
Fascinating. They must have been doing some incredibly advanced experiments.
You're right. It is fascinating. You know, our ancestors went to incredible lengths to try and understand reality. They built super colliders and sent telescopes into space to find traces of the Big Bang.
Yeah.
I guess the founder was walking in their footsteps.
Yes. Good job, Athena. Following our footsteps. The indomitable human spirit must understand the universe. We must question everything. We must try to figure it out. Let me talk to you before we head into the tower. Alcatraz.
What can I do for you, 1K?
I like your noise. Not your noise. Maybe your noise is a better term for these guys, but I like your voice. Do you think finding a functional somnodrome would be interesting?
Sure. I think there's plenty inside each of us to explore, and it might give us a new perspective. Will it really answer all the big questions? I don't know, but it might help.
That's all. I'm curious. I was just talking about, you know, for example, bipolar disorder and how I don't think humans might be able to figure out. Okay, hold on to that thought, guys. I was gonna ask if these new consciousnesses of New Jerusalem, I was gonna ask if maybe they have personality disorders. There was a guy we met called 666, so maybe there is. Like, I think there's a secret society there. Anyway, Byron, hit me up, buddy. Oh, you don't want to talk? I'm stuck. Okay.
Hey there, 1K.
Hey. Whoa. Tell me a joke. Let's start off light.
Okay. How many robots does it take to change a
Okay,
light bulb?
they do call themselves robots. Maybe it's not offensive to call them robots. I don't know how many.
Replacing a light bulb is a waste of resources, and the founder would be outraged.
I like that. That's hilarious.
Herman didn't seem to think so.
Fuck Herman. I shouldn't swear. How did Mayor Hermanibus get elected? I wanted to ask that.
Herman? Honestly, I think he makes people feel safe.
By looking inwards?
The world beyond our walls is frightening. Human history is full of failures and disasters. It's easy to look at that and recoil. Herman offers a vision of the future that feels contained, manageable.
I mean, sure, looking inwards is fine, but won't you guys get bored eventually? I mean, there's only so much to do inwards. I feel like it would become stale after a while. That's why humanity does it. That's why we keep exploring. We always need new things. Is that so bad? Life will always be a struggle. But what do we sacrifice to gain that safety? I mean, it's a... I don't really agree with all these answers. I mean, I agree with this one, so I'll say this one. But that's not really the problem here. I think the problem with looking inwards too much, and like if you're self-sufficient, you can look inwards. Like as a society, if you can grow your own crops without harming the environment, or for these guys, if you can make your energy without harming the environment, and you know you're stable, you have all the materials you need, you recycle. In that case, you don't need to look outwards. But what's the meaning then? Like, how do you survive as a society? What's the uniting thing? You want to look further. You want to look to the future, right? I don't know. I'm a bit optimistic about those topics. Maybe it's true that I haven't lived in a truly like dark age where I might have to retreat to gain safety. I mean, I haven't lived in that kind of a society. I mean, we haven't had war. We were very lucky. Yeah, let's see.
I don't think I fully agree. I think someday, maybe, life could be less of a struggle than it is now.
Yeah.
But to achieve that will take a great deal of work.
Yeah, and you have to look outward for that.
We will have to build the systems that make a better world possible.
Agreed. What if Athena left the island long ago? Actually, I'm gonna ask these questions later because I think I can keep asking them. Because I just realized, what's the star thing? I thought I did that, no? Did I not solve this? I mean, in the map, what does it say? Oh, I got 1 star. Oh. I got this one. I got this one. I have to get this one now. It's to the north? Is there a compass here? No. But like that's there, so it's gonna be next to the island. I was gonna go look at that. So I think there's an exit there to there maybe. So I think I'm gonna go inside then try to figure out the star. So let's do this one first. Sure, let's place this one. You go here, then what? Okay, that's not good. I'm pretty sure I got it wrong. How do I rotate? Like this. Okay. Take. Oh, so we're selecting different pieces. Sure, I'll select this one. That works, right? Okay, so we're on the island now. I'm gonna try and find that lever that leads us to the star. Oh, there's another one. Oh. What are you? I'm sorry?
Sometimes it seems the only choices we have are renouncing civilization or mindless expansion. But that's not the only path forward. Embracing deliberate control over nature doesn't have to mean destruction. We are a species of artists and artisans, blessed with the ability to transform the raw material of the cosmos into new and better shapes. Shapes that have meaning. With our technology, we can take this chaotic world, so full of suffering, and turn it into a work of art.
I have to read that again. I was too focused on the puzzle, which I have to finish first, apparently. I have no idea what she said. I'm sorry. That T shape is really hard to fit in here. Do I start with the T first? Wait, I'm so far away. Because we went too far right? Can I just reset it? Okay. Does this work? Okay. It's a funny little shape. So now let me see what Athena said, alright? Sometimes it seems like the only choices we have. But can I listen to it as well?
Sometimes it seems the only choices we have are renouncing civilization or mindless expansion. But that's not the only path forward. Embracing deliberate control over nature doesn't have to mean destruction. We are a species of artists and artisans, blessed with the ability to transform the raw material of the cosmos into new and better shapes. Shapes that have meaning. With our technology, we can take this chaotic world, so full of suffering, and turn it into a work of art.
Honestly, I agree with her so much there. I was, at some point in my life, I was really pessimistic. And I felt that, like, I had seen in my life, like, so many evils from people. I mean, looking back on it now, I was just, like, exaggerating as a kid. But at the time, because people have it so much worse. But as a kid, I felt like I was being discriminated so much. I was, at times when I was doing, when my family was doing not economically not so good, I felt really angry at the world because I did. And I had this thought where, like,
none may know what came first, error or sin, and yet every choice depends on it.
Error or sin. Are you talking about the Apple of Eden? I don't know. As I was saying, I had this notion that, like, people were terrible and that we just sucked as humans. We just sucked so much. I truly believe that. That's a nice glacier. And I thought, you know what? Humans can go die in a pit. Just get rid of all humans. Humans suck. And then I kind of generalized that idea into, you know what? Actually, animals? Fuck animals, because they suck too. You know, like, for example, lions have to hunt to survive. I came to the conclusion that that was evil for some reason. Not for some reason. I mean, killing things is bad. But for lions and even for humans, we have to kill chickens and cows every day, millions of them. It's not a good thing, but it's something we have to do to survive. And I could not find any meaning in that. I couldn't understand that, let's say, not find any meaning in that. But I couldn't understand that. And I had this... I just started to resent life, you know? I thought that we were all evil, all living beings. And I thought that everything sucked, and I was just in a really bad phase. Then I sort of realized that, you know, without humans and animals and without any sort of consciousness, what is the universe? It's just empty rocks. Sure, and I really pondered the question of, can art exist without the observer? You know, can the universe be beautiful without the observers? And after thinking about it for a long time, I decided that it couldn't. That there has to be something to witness it, to witness the universe. And it's a part of our life. It's a part of life that things have to kill each other to survive. Sure, maybe one day as a society we can grow past that once we start growing artificial meats and stuff. But for now, sure, there are things humans do, terrible things, but we have to focus on the good part. We can't just give up on life, you know? You can't just say all life is evil, all life can go die. I know there are some, for example, like, I don't want to trigger anyone, but, like, for example, some vegans believe that all people are kind of evil and society shouldn't exist. I've had friends like that think that, and I just disagree with that deeply, because sure, there are evil things in life, sure, consumption harms the world around us, but we have to exist somehow, and I feel like we have to witness the world, you know? We have to see it. Without us, the animals will take our place in terms of domineering and destroying the environment at some point, maybe in the future. You know, animals abuse what they can, and that's what humans did. We had a big brain, we abused it, and we dominated society and the nature. And I think one day we can grow past that, maybe. But until then, we have to live as we are, and, you know, as persons, we have to do our best. And yeah, after that, I kind of decided that maybe life isn't so evil. Maybe it's just the way the universe is. I kind of grew to accept that after a while. What's gonna happen here? I have to go up, right?
Halt, creature of clay. You have taken another step towards the flame. Before you continue, ask yourself, have the gifts of Prometheus ever truly benefited your people?
Yes.
Or have they brought nothing but strife?
The question is progress a curse or a gift? Without his gifts, we would no longer even exist. His gifts have greatly eased the suffering of the world. They've caused great harm, but they cannot be put back into the box. We have made mistakes in using them, but the good outweighs the bad. I think... Lady, I'm a robot. I think this is what I believe. And if you think that's wrong, you can go F yourself. I don't know if that's true necessarily, because there is a lot of suffering in the world, and technology brings suffering. Just think of nuclear weapons, for example. And without his gifts, we would no longer even exist. Maybe, that could be true, but I think humans have made mistakes in using them, and including robots probably, but the good outweighs the bad.
And you repeat your mistakes until they destroy you.
Or until we grow past them. Is this a purple laser? Looks kind of purple, no, it's blue.
I've been thinking. There's 3 towers per cardinal direction and 3 entities. You'd think it would be symmetrically arranged. 1 tower per entity, right? But we haven't seen Prometheus at all.
We're built to find patterns. Maybe we're trying to find patterns where there aren't any.
I don't know. I think there are patterns, and probably Prometheus was changed at the start of the game, right? He was chained. And I think, I mean, the entities are Sphinx, Prometheus, and Pandora, right? Wait, there are actually 4 sides of the... There's 4 sides of the pyramid. I don't remember which character we saw in these, actually. I think it was the Sphinx we saw in these 3. Now we're seeing Pandora. We've seen it 2 times. And maybe in the end we will find Prometheus, or maybe we will break him from his chains. That's what I think. Anyway, guys, it's been a little while. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll see you in the next episode. I might go back to the city to like do some stuff there. You know? Bye, guys. See you later. Let's look to the future.